Do you believe it? With just a US passport, you can step into stunning countries, live for an entire year without a visa, and the cost of living is so cheap it's almost unbelievable. In Mexico, you can rent a spacious apartment for just a few $100s and eat tacos every day for only $1 to $2. In Costa Rica, $1,000 a month in retirement income is enough to get you a visa and enjoy the paradise of Pura Vida. And especially at the end of today's video, I'll reveal a country that most Americans have never thought about. A place where you can live comfortably, safely, and at costs so low they're shocking. This is the list of 10 countries that allow Americans to live freely without a visa and at an incredibly low cost. One of them might just be your next destination. Let's start the journey right now. Dream it. Pack it. Go. 10. Albania. The forgotten, cheap Mediterranean gem. Sitting in a seaside cafe in Saranda, you only need a few dollars for a cappuccino and a piece of cake. In front of you is the turquoise Adriatic Sea, and in the distance, snow-covered mountains. It's hard to believe that right here in Europe, where prices are usually sky-high, there exists a country so easy to live in and so welcoming. Albania. What makes Albania special for American retirees is its visa-free policy of up to 1 year, longer than most European countries. If you want to stay longer, you only need to apply for a Type D visa and renew it annually, a simple procedure with low costs. For those who have worried about the red tape in the EU, this is truly a breath of fresh air. The cost of living in Albania is extremely attractive. In the capital Tirana, a downtown apartment is only $300–500 per month. Local food is cheap and fresh. Bread, vegetables, olives, wine, all at just a fraction of Western European prices. With around $1,200–1,500 per month, a couple can live comfortably, enjoying a Mediterranean lifestyle without having to tighten their belts. Healthcare in Albania is developing and sufficient for basic needs. At private hospitals in Tirana, a visit to a family doctor costs only about $30, much cheaper than in the US. However, for more complex cases, retirees often choose to go to Italy or Greece, just a few hours by flight, for more specialized care. In terms of safety, Albania is currently one of the safest countries in Europe, with crime rates comparable to Canada. Tourists often note they rarely encounter pickpocketing like in other large European cities. Locals are hospitable and ready to help, even though the Albanian language is quite difficult to learn. Of course, Albania also has its limitations. Rural infrastructure is still weak, mountain winters are very cold, and the American community here is still small. But in return, you have a peaceful life by the blue sea, majestic mountains, and a Mediterranean culture rich in character, all at just a fraction of Europe's cost. If you want to live in a secret Europe, where your money can go 3 times further, leave a comment. I choose Albania. 9. Dominican Republic, the bachata dance of retirement. When the sunset turns Punta Cana golden, the bachata from a small roadside bar rises softly, lively, warm, impossible to stand still. The Dominican Republic welcomes Americans with that very rhythm, costs about 40% lower than in the US, Caribbean sunshine everywhere, and tables always filled with the rice-beans-meat combo of La Bandera Dominicana. A night out for $10 to $20 is already plenty. In the morning, a basket of mangoes, pineapples, and bananas costs just a few dollars. In Santo Domingo, a 1-bedroom apartment downtown can be around $355 a month. In quieter places like Puerto Plata or Samaná, prices are even softer. The retirement process also dances to the right beat. You only need to show about $1,500 month in income to apply for a retirement visa. Even better news, pensions and Social Security from the U.S. are tax-free in the Dominican Republic. Just note that investment income or income generated locally is still taxed. As for healthcare, private hospitals in major cities are quite modern, and private insurance of about $200 month lets you get quick access, reducing wait times. Of course, every song has its low notes. Some urban areas still struggle with crime, especially at night, while rural healthcare services aren't as strong as in the cities. The safe dance moves are choosing tourist zones with police support, living near expat communities, and using taxis or apps after dark. Do this, and you'll find the Dominican Republic truly is a Caribbean dance. Cheap, joyful, and full of life energy. Suggested total monthly cost, about $1,600 per person, including rent, food, basic utilities, and private insurance. If the Dominican Republic makes you want to pack your bags, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because coming up are destinations even more surprising. 8. El Salvador. The land of volcanoes and pupusas. One morning in San Salvador, I sat at the corner of a market holding a hot pupusa, corn cake stuffed with cheese, for just $1. That simple dish not only warmed my stomach, but also captured the spirit of El Salvador. Cheap, friendly, and full of life. For American retirees, this is one of the most affordable places in Central America. Living costs are up to 56% lower than in the U.S., which means with only $1,200 month, you can rent an apartment, cover food, utilities, and internet, and still have enough left for strolls along La Libertad Beach or trips up to the Santa Ana Highlands. Since 2024, the government has also launched an electronic visa for foreigners, requiring just $1,500 month in income, with a big perk: elimination of income tax on foreign money. Your U.S. pension or Social Security will keep its full value untouched. However, healthcare remains a weak spot. While treatment is cheap, facilities are only average. Retirees usually buy international insurance and are ready to fly to Costa Rica or the U.S. if advanced care is needed. This is something to consider before settling long-term. The good news is, safety has now improved significantly. If El Salvador was once infamous for gang violence, today crime rates have dropped sharply thanks to strict enforcement. You can feel safer walking in the capital or relaxing on the coast, though some former hotspots are still best avoided. El Salvador is small, its economy relying heavily on services and remittances, but since it uses the US dollar as official currency, life for Americans here is convenient and stable. Friendly people, vibrant Latin culture, and raw nature make it feel like you're truly starting a new journey. Slow-paced, but colorful. If you want to try living in a country that's both simple and authentic, leave a comment. I want to try El Salvador. 7. Panama. The retirement paradise where you live. Well on just $500. There's a reason Panama always tops the list of destinations for American retirees, the Pensionado program. By proving retirement income of about $1,000 a month, you get a long-term visa and enjoy a host of perks. Discounts on medicine, insurance, flights, restaurants, and even electricity bills. This is one of the most generous policies in the world for seniors. Panama uses the US dollar as its currency, so you don't have to worry about exchange rate fluctuations. As for living costs, a single person can live comfortably on $1,400 month. In provinces like Chiriquí, expenses are even lower. Cheap rent and affordable basic groceries. You can enjoy a tasty local meal for just $5–7, while a basket full of tropical produce at the market costs only a few dollars. Panama also has the most modern healthcare system in Central America, with an international hospital affiliated with Johns Hopkins. Medical care costs only 50–80% of what you'd pay in the U.S., and many doctors speak English. Regarding taxes, Panama applies a territorial system. Only income generated within the country is taxed. This means your U.S. pension or Social Security is completely tax-free. Safety in Panama is relatively good, with crime mostly limited to petty theft in the cities. Infrastructure is modern: highways, an international airport, fast internet, allowing you to enjoy tropical life without losing convenience. Of course, Panama also has a few downsides: a long, humid, rainy season, traffic congestion in the capital, and sometimes slow, mañana-style bureaucracy. But in return, you get a country where modern living blends with blue seas, lush mountains, and the friendly smiles of a large expat community. If you dream of a new chapter in life, try writing. I choose Panama in the comments. 6. Belize. A letter from the Caribbean Sea. Imagine opening a letter that smells of sea salt. Hello, this morning the pelicans perched on the pier again. The sun poured through the palms, and life here stayed as gentle as the waves. That's Belize, a country where English is the official language. The Belize dollar is pegged to the US dollar. Price tags are easy to read like back home, and the pace of life is slow enough for your heart to rest. In the morning, you sip a $2 coffee. At lunch, stop by a roadside cafe for a $6–8 plate of stewed chicken with rice and beans. In the afternoon, wander through the market and pick up tamales for $1–2. With $2,000–3,000 a month, many Americans live comfortably between white sand beaches and turquoise waters as clear as glass. The key point is the Qualified Retirement Program, QRP. With just $2,000 a month in retirement income, or transferred into a Belizean bank, you can get a long-term visa along with duty-free import of personal belongings. Belize also does not tax foreign-sourced income, including pensions and Social Security, so the savings of your lifetime won't get shaved down. You can use that surplus for beachfront yoga classes, affordable pet care, or a diving trip to the Belize Barrier Reef, bursting with colorful coral. Of course, this Caribbean gem still has some rough edges. Local health care is generally basic, and complex cases are usually treated in neighboring Mexico. Safety in Belize City requires caution against petty theft. That's why retirees often choose Ambergris Caye or Placencia, where there are larger expat communities and a stronger sense of security. But if you want a simple life, where every sunrise carries the scent of the sea and the songs of tropical birds, Belize is the peaceful letter you've been waiting for. 5. Armenia, where Mount Ararat tells a 1,000-year story. On the clear blue sky of the Caucasus, the silhouette of Mount Ararat rises magnificently, a symbol tied to the history and soul of Armenia. Many American retirees come here not only for the affordability, but also for the feeling of living inside an unfinished epic. In the capital Yerevan, a retired couple only needs $1,500 a month to live comfortably. A one-bedroom apartment in the city center costs $350–500, and a meal at a small eatery is less than $5, with hot lavash bread, fragrant kash soup, and traditional herbal tea. Local markets overflow with fresh fruits, grapes, pomegranates, apricots, just a few dollars for a large bag. Healthcare services in Yerevan are fairly developed, with modern private hospitals and surprisingly low costs. A family doctor visit is just $15–30, specialists $30–60. However, if you live far from the capital, services are limited, and complex cases often require treatment abroad. One caveat is taxes. Armenia applies a global income tax at around 23%, meaning pensions or income from the U.S. still need to be declared. This can be a drawback for those aiming to optimize finances. Even so, the low cost of living and comfortable lifestyle help balance things out. In terms of safety, Armenia is considered one of the most peaceful countries in the region, with street crime rarely occurring. However, the border areas near Azerbaijan sometimes experience conflicts, so retirees usually choose to stay in Yerevan or in tourist towns within the valleys. What makes Armenia special is the blend of nature and culture. In the morning, you can stroll under the trees along Yerevan's boulevards. In the afternoon, enjoy a glass of wine from the Ararat Valley. And in the evening, listen to ancient folk songs echoing through cobblestone streets. This is not just a place to save money, but a place where the heart finds peace after a lifetime of wandering. If you want to continue writing the story of your life at the foot of Mount Ararat, leave a comment. I choose Armenia. 4. Mexico, where every morning begins with the smell of fresh tacos. Imagine waking up in Mérida, the peaceful city known as the safest in Mexico. In the morning, you go to the market for fresh produce at half the price of the U.S. Stop by a street taco stand for just a few coins, and in the evening, sip tequila as the sun sets over the Yucatan beach. That is not just a vacation. It can very well be the daily life of an American retiree in Mexico. The cost of living here surprises many. With $1,800–3,000 a month, you can rent a comfortable apartment, eat well, and enjoy a rich cultural life. A two-bedroom apartment in a smaller city is only $600–900, while in beach resort areas, it can range from $1,500. Food is cheap, abundant, and flavorful. From tamales and enchiladas to Mexican grilled meat, all at just 30–50% of U.S. prices. Healthcare is another big advantage. Mexico is known for high-quality medical services at only 50–80% of U.S. costs. A private doctor visit usually costs just a few dozen. Private insurance is $50–150 a month, and many doctors in major cities speak English. Regarding visas, Mexico allows Americans to apply for resident temporal if they can prove an income of about $4,700 a month or equivalent savings. After 5 years, you can become a permanent resident. If you stay more than 183 days a year, you will be subject to resident taxes, but thanks to the U.S.-Mexico Treaty, U.S. Social Security and pensions are usually tax-exempt, with only investment income possibly needing to be declared in both countries. Of course, Mexico also has its downsides. Some states like Guerrero or Sinaloa still face many security issues, but popular expat areas such as Ajijic by Lake Chapala, Querétaro, or Puerto Vallarta are known for being safe and friendly. Mexico is a country where mountains, deserts, and blue seas converge, where cuisine captivates the world, and where American retirees can find both savings and a sense of belonging. If you want every day to begin with the smell of tacos and end with a sunset over the sea, leave a comment. I choose Mexico. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because the next low-cost destination is coming right up. 3. Costa Rica, living fully with the spirit of pura vida. In Costa Rica, people don't just greet each other with hello or have a good day. Instead, they say pura vida, which means pure life. 2 short words, but they hold an entire philosophy of living. Slow, peaceful, and enjoying every single moment. For many American retirees, that's exactly what they seek after years of hard work. Costa Rica is considered the retirement paradise of Central America, thanks to the easiest pensionado visa in the region. You only need to prove $1,000 in monthly pension income to gain legal residency. The wonderful part is that foreign income, such as U.S. Social Security or pensions, is completely tax-exempt, allowing you to keep the full value of your money. In terms of cost of living, although Costa Rica is more expensive than its neighbors, it's still about 38% cheaper than the U.S. A retired couple can live comfortably on $2,000, $2,500 a month, covering rent, food, entertainment, and transportation. Dinner at a casual restaurant costs only $10, $20, while local markets sell tropical fruits, rice, and coffee at friendly prices. Healthcare is a national pride here. By contributing 9 to 11% of your income to the public insurance system, Seguro, you gain access to modern healthcare at surprisingly low costs. Doctor visits are just a few dollars. To avoid waiting times, many also buy private insurance, which is still far cheaper than in the U.S. This is why Costa Rica consistently ranks among the top countries in the world for healthcare. Costa Rica's safety level is also among the highest in the region, with little serious crime and a global peace index ranking of 39/163. With its rainforests, endless beaches, and majestic volcanoes, this is a living canvas of nature for those who want both safety and romance. Of course, Costa Rica has a few downsides. Costs in tourist areas can be high. Some rural regions still lack infrastructure, and you'll need a bit of Spanish to integrate more easily. But if you want a life where every day begins with pura vida, then Costa Rica is the place where your heart finds peace. Like and subscribe to continue our journey to Europe right now. 2. Portugal, where the sunrise rises over the Douro River. Imagine a morning in Porto. You sit by the Douro River, holding a cup of rich coffee and a warm pastel de nata. Locals stroll leisurely, while the sound of fado guitar drifts from a corner of the old town. This isn't just a vacation. It could be your daily life if you choose Portugal for retirement. The cost of living here is much lighter compared to Western Europe. A single person can live comfortably on about $350, $3,300 a month. A one-bedroom apartment in Lisbon or Porto runs $1,200 and $1,700, while in smaller towns it's only $800 and $1,200. Local foods are abundant. Fish, seafood, Porto wine, olives. With $300, $400 a month, you can eat well and still have enough left over to occasionally enjoy dinner out for just $10, $15 per person. When it comes to healthcare, Portugal has one of the best public systems in Europe. Only $10, $20 per doctor visit. Many retirees choose to add private insurance at $50, $150 a month to avoid wait times. Major hospitals have English-speaking doctors, making treatment much easier. Another highlight is safety. The country consistently ranks among the safest in the world, 7th globally. You can stroll along Algarve beaches late at night or watch the sunset from Lisbon's castles without much worry about risks. As for taxes, Portugal applies a progressive system, 13.48%. However, with the NHR, non-habitual resident program, foreigners only pay a flat 10% tax on pensions for the first 10 years. The US and Portugal also have a double taxation treaty, meaning your pension won't be eaten up on both sides. Portugal isn't just a land of wine, sunshine, and blue seas. It's also where you'll find safety, quality healthcare, affordable living, and a friendly community. If you've ever dreamed of spending your golden years in Europe's slow rhythm, leave a comment. I choose Portugal. 1. Spain, slow living with wine and Mediterranean sun. Imagine an afternoon in Seville. Golden sunlight reflects off whitewashed walls. The aroma of olive oil fills the air, and in the square, the rhythm of flamenco shoes echoes with energy. In Spain, retirement isn't an ending, but the beginning of a new rhythm. slow, rich with Mediterranean life. This is one of the most popular choices for Americans seeking retirement in Europe. For long-term residency, you can apply for a non-lucrative visa if you can prove an income of about $28,800 a year, $31,000 USD. Once your paperwork is approved, the cost of living is very reasonable, about $2,500 a month per person, enough to rent an apartment, enjoy food freely, and immerse yourself in diverse culture. Spain's healthcare system ranks among the best in the world. Citizens and legal residents have access to free public health care, while private hospitals are also modern and much cheaper than in the US. This is a huge advantage for retirees seeking peace of mind about their health. Safety in Spain is generally excellent. Major cities only report occasional pickpocketing in tourist areas, while most towns and rural regions are peaceful. With a strong GDP, vibrant culture, football, festivals, and warm-hearted people, Spain offers a retirement lifestyle that is both lively and relaxed. If you've ever dreamed of spending your golden years on the beaches of Costa del Sol, leave a comment. I choose Spain. We've just explored 10 countries where Americans can live without a visa and enjoy a comfortable life at surprisingly low costs. From Mexico with tacos for just $1, to Costa Rica with an easy retirement visa requiring only $1,000 a month, and even safe, peaceful European destinations like Portugal or Spain. Each place has its own charm. Some offer sunrises over the Caribbean, others sunsets with a glass of Mediterranean wine. The most important truth is this: your retirement doesn't have to mean endless bills in the US. It can be a new chapter, lighter, safer, and full of freedom. So will you choose Mexico, Costa Rica, or save the surprise for the final country? Leave a comment about which destination impressed you most. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss the next journey of discovery.